Hey everybody, so I'm going to show you how to turn your Android phone into a security cam. So first thing you got to do is open up the Play Store and find the IP webcam, which I got to open. By the way, this is a Samsung J320. It's a 2016 Samsung J3. It's a piece of crap, but it works for this. So you should do this with a phone you're not going to use. Like if you got an old Android phone, or even if you got a broken one. Like if you got a broken Android phone, for instance, something like this, where in this one the SIM card doesn't work. I got one where the screen doesn't work, the touch screen. What you can do, if the touch screen doesn't work but the screen still works, you can actually plug a mouse and keyboard into here with what's called an OTG dongle, where you plug this into your Android and then you plug like a wireless keyboard mouse into there, and then you can continue to use it just without the touch screen. So something like that is perfect, where it's broke but not totally broke. What you should do is reset the device so that none of your personal info is on there, obviously, and then when you open it up and log in with like a fake Gmail account, like create a new one, and that way it's not tied to you in any way. I'm using just my teacher Adam O'Dick's account because I just don't really care about that. If some hacker wants to steal it, feel free. You're not going to get anything out of it. By the way, this program right here is called Visor. It'll give me ads now and then. Yeah, there we go. It'll give me ads now and then, but basically I'm using Linux because Visor allows me to connect my phone to the computer, and so you can see what's on the phone and you can control the phone from the computer. So anyways, back to it. You're looking for IP webcam on your Android phone in the Play Store. Oh, give me a break. Sorry, this was all done, but you know. Yeah, Visor works sort of well. I think the Play Store may have updated for that matter, and hence part of the problem. But anyways, let me see. Alright, so yeah, you can clearly see how slow this phone is, but that's fine, because for what I'm using it for, it doesn't need to be fast. So for IP webcam, there's a couple ways to use it. The way I'm going to use it, you can put an SD card into this phone anyways, and into the good Samsungs anyways, or many of them, and it'll record to the internal memory and to an SD card. And you can also have it, upload to like FTP or to other devices, but I haven't really had success with that. So what I've done is just, whenever I'm using IP webcam, I'll install it, put in a big SD card, 16 gigabyte or 32 gigabyte is fine, let it record onto it, and then it'll record over itself. And with 16 gigs with low settings, I don't know, I get like a day or two of recording, and then it'll overwrite itself. And that's usually fine. That's usually good enough. Yeah, let me change the settings here so it stops turning itself off. I'm having some issues here simply because I'm using Visor so that I can record it. But again, just open up IP webcam, install it. Let's see, display, screen timeout, 10 minutes. Okay. Alright, so it's installing IP webcam. Anyways, you can upload this to servers or whatever, upload the information, but I just keep it on the phone, and it works over Wi-Fi. So basically what I'll do is take one of these old phones, get a charger, plug it in permanently, set up IP webcam, set it in a place where nobody's going to notice it or nobody's going to see it. Since they're fairly small and like self-contained, I mean, if you were really paranoid, you could even take this and like, you know, cut a little spot out of a picture or something and put it behind there so that, you know, if someone really looked, they could see this. But all that you need is the camera to be visible and for it to have a power source. And one of the things I found too, you'll want to do it on a junk phone because it does tend to kill batteries. Like that battery is puffed out, totally ready to explode. For some reason it hasn't yet though, so that's good. But usually that's from it heating up because the screen has stayed on. So you're going to want to set the settings so that the screen turns off while it's running. You don't want the screen to stay on all the time or else it'll get super hot. So anyways, let's open up IP webcam and check it out. Okay, so let's check out some of the plugins. I forget here if this is where you'll probably want to install these just because it's good to have these things. So the ones that I'll use, night vision kind of sucks, but I'll get it anyways. This circular recording at server start, record video circularly. What circularly means is it's going to record till it's full and then it's going to start to delete any older ones. Which again, I use that because if something happens at my house, I usually know it within 2 days. And so I usually know it within 6 hours. So like I can look at the 6 hours of film prior and I don't care if it's deleting 2 days ago, you know? Show the disguise webpage at the start. I'm not sure what that one is actually. It might be good, I don't know. Fade at the server start, I don't know. This take photos regularly is kind of nice. It'll just snap a photo every 10 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever, but it also fills up your space kind of quickly, so I'm not going to put those on there. This uploader one, this is the plugin to upload stuff to like an FTP server if you wanted to. The C-Record one I would definitely get. The others, kind of optional, whatever. But let me show you how it works. I'm going to change a couple of the settings first. On. Yep, okay. Let's go to preferences. I'll set a couple of things here. Main camera, primary, secondary camera, front, yeah. Video resolution. I'm going to turn this down quite a bit so that it uses up less space and because I don't really need it to be high. And I'll probably never take photos, but I'm going to set this down a little bit too. Photo location. This is for GPS location if you want it stored. Doesn't matter, it's in my house. Enable GPS, again, it's up to you. Quality, leave that at 50 for now. That's for actually the video server thing. You may need to change landscape or flip the video. We'll know that in a few seconds. That depends on how you have the phone setting when you're actually recording and stuff. I would leave this other stuff at default. All right. So basically with the video settings, I would just change the resolution, drop it down a little bit. Effects. I would enable the date and time and battery info overlay. That's kind of nice. Specify how date, this one, don't worry about this. And night vision, again, it sucks on my camera, might be fine on yours. Power management, disable camera or screen when not in use. So period of inactivity, I'm gonna set to, 15 seconds, okay? And I'm gonna do deactivate display. Let display turn off when inactive. I wanna keep the camera on. Sleep behavior, keep screen active. Here we go. When streaming, prevent screen timeout required for camera streaming on Android 3 Plus. That should be okay, I think. Actually, no, you know what? This may be the one you want to turn off. We'll see. Shallow sleep improves web server performance. That's fine. Don't show app. That doesn't matter. Stream on device boot. Stream on device boot is nice because if, it says right here, if your phone reboots, Yeah, it might be due to CPU overheating. Remove the back cover, put it somewhere cool. Yeah, like I said, heat is an issue. Keep the screen off if you can. But as long as heat's not too big of an issue, which actually on better phones, it'll be less of a problem. But you might not want to use a better phone as a camera. Like I say, just use some old piece of junk where it doesn't matter if it dies. But stream on device boot, when it boots up, it'll start streaming. And what's nice about that is if for some reason the thing shuts down and turns itself back on or restarts or whatever, cool, it just goes back into recording. And that's probably what you want. I've had this set up actually with this one with the bad back and this one that's hooked up right now. I had them set up for a couple of years, like a year and a half, 2 years, working 24/7 on the same batteries, and they were pretty much fine. And I got rid of it because just not a huge concern, but yeah. And then you got motion and sound detection stuff. So I'm going to ignore those and just assume that you're not using those. What I found, the problem with the motion sensor one is, yeah, it works, but I just got a bunch of pictures of my cat like running past stuff, so that becomes annoying. But if you don't have pets or whatever and you're really concerned, yeah, okay, maybe that works for you. So now let's, oh, there it is. Open up IP webcam again. I don't know why it closed there. That's all right. Scroll down. Is there anything else I want to mess with? Yeah, for broadcasting. So this is going to broadcast to your local network, and you still might want to put a password on it. So I'm going to put. You can make it as a public camera, but I'm going to put a password in there. I'm just going to put A, and okay. You would probably want to use a better password. You can change this port. 8080 is kind of common, and the problem with common ports is if someone were to get into your Wi-Fi network and search for open ports, they might find it. If you have fairly secure Wi-Fi, fairly secure router and all that stuff, don't worry about it, but you might want to change that to something random, 5382 or something like that. 8080 is kind of a commonly used one. So I'm going to leave it. You might want to change it. Back one. I hit back and it closes it out. That's all right. Like I say, this phone is really old and crappy, so just get used to it. All right, let's do start server. So this is connected just to my Wi-Fi, and you see now it's giving me an IP address with that port, right? So it's right here. Here we are. Hi, everybody. All right. Now, let's just hold off on this for a second. To get into this, all you got to do is open up your web server or web browser. And what was the IP again? 5.8. Okay. Type in that IP address with the port. Okay. So I'll go back. This is the IP address, and you see it can use HTTP or HTTPS because it can run secure or non-secure. You might be able to change that. I don't know, but whatever. 192.168.58 is for this one, and then :8080. Now it's going to ask me for that password that I set. If you didn't set a password, it won't ask you for anything. Sign in. It may ask you to save. All right, this is like the main screen. So now to see, again, this is not on the phone, right? So like I can close visor totally, and I can unplug the phone. I can take it into another room. I mean, it's only plugged in now because I had it hooked on the visor. So let's see. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Okay, whatever. So anyways, here, this is the camera is just here. So if I click browser, that's usually the best one. All right, see? So now it's working as a security cam. And you can see the different ways you flip it around. This is where you may have to change the orientation, flip and landscape and stuff. So I'll show you, like, if I have it like this, for instance, and I have it set somewhere like this, then I can come down and do like mirror and flip. So let's try flip. See, now it's upside. Now it's correct, basically. Like this is the normal orientation, and if I turn flip off and do none, now you see it's normal again. So you may need to mess around with those settings a little bit and stuff. Like I said, I got it disconnected now, so like visor won't work now because it's just not hooked up. Cancel, get out of here. And now it's hooked up again, actually. So yeah, but that's the basics. You can switch to the front camera. My front camera is full of lint because the screen is shot. But anyways, you probably want the back camera on because it's better anyways. You can zoom and stuff. You can, the stream quality, I wouldn't mess with that too much. Basically lower quality means it's going to stream a little bit better, but it's going to be more like artifacty and stuff, but you know, who cares? And it's also recording fine. So if you see as I change the stream quality, the little moving pixels get a little bit smoother. And if I drop it way down, yeah, you see how it gets all chunky. If you're looking at this, like what I would do is I would go to work or wherever, and I could connect to my local network with AnyDesk, connect to a local computer with AnyDesk, and then open this up on that local computer. And then no matter where I was in the world, I could see video from my house using AnyDesk and IP webcam. Both of them are free. Yeah, you get this IP webcam ad up here, but whatever, who cares? And then it is circular recording as well. So you can come to Video Archive, and here we go. It's only one file. I think the default is, yeah, the default is 1 hour. I switched this to record in 10-minute chunks, just because it was easier to deal with when I was trying to find something in it. And there's a bunch of other stuff in here. So like the LED flashlight, for instance. Let's see, browser. Let's turn on the LED flashlight. See that? So like I can, again, with AnyDesk, I can do this from work. So if I'm at work and somebody is in my house suddenly that I didn't invite in, I didn't know was going to be in there, I might just pop on this flashlight and be like, hey, what the fuck you doing, you know? But you can also, actually, you can, let me see. I gotta find it. You can turn on sound as well. It might be up top. Yeah, two-way audio. So with two-way audio, it gets a little funky. I think there might be drivers or something that you've got to use. But with two-way audio, yeah, what's nice, get out of here, visor. With two-way audio, what's nice, I actually did this from work. You could talk into the microphone on this computer, and it would go through the phone and come out the phone. So you can literally say to somebody, hey, what are you doing in my house? And it comes out the phone that's recording them. And the danger, of course, is if you're recording it to the phone and somebody steals the phone, you've lost it. That's where these other things come in. Let's see. That's where these other things come in with, let me find it. With the plugins. So, this is where this uploader plugin is kind of nice. You can upload the files to some other server somewhere. Honestly, I had set up an FTP server and then had issues with it, and I'm not sure why. I think it was something on the server side that I messed up. I think there's ones that you can pay for as well. And then there's this other cloud streaming service that you can use, Elvidion. Never used it. I just use AnyDesk and it works. But you can, somewhere in here, set it up. I guess maybe it's in plugins, but I'm not getting to it. You can set it up though. There we are, uploader. So you can remove the uploaded files, keep failed files, but then select uploader. The problem with this is there's only a couple of options. I think there's FTP, secure FTP, and something else, which if it ever opens up, we'll see. There we are. Install uploader plugin. Install. So this one's also by this Pavel Kablovich or whatever his name was. And this little plugin will allow you to upload it to like a secure FTP file share or an FTP file share so that you can save the videos, you know, forever or indefinitely or whatever. and there was one for Dropbox in there too. So that's a little bit safer than having it just saved to the phone. But like, still, having it saved to the phone, if your phone is well hidden, isn't really the worst idea. I mean, it still works, you know. But yeah. Now the one problem is you've got to keep, this won't run in the background. And so basically if you're using it as the server, as a webcam, it's got to be the only thing that you're using this this phone for, which is actually fine if it's a junk phone that you're not going to use. But yeah, so this was off and I just turned it back on. That's basically it. That's mostly all I've used it for. It's nice though, and I have had a couple times where I was really glad that I had it, and I had 3 or 4 of these set up at one point in my house. Like, I'm not that paranoid generally, and I got rid of them anyways for now, or did I? But anyways, it's a free, easy way to take junk Android phones and actually use them for something. And it gives you a little extra security. If you want to get really fancy, you can hide them in places, or, you know, like I say, cut out a picture or a painting and put them in there or whatever. So, yeah, that's it. Enjoy, have fun. Don't be too paranoid.